All right. So, what have you heard about Wolf of Wall Street?
I've heard of this like 2.5 hours of just like debauchery.
Is that why you want to see it?
Is what a well, I mean, I like Leonardo DiCaprio, I like Martin Scorsese, and I mean it's mainly for the entertainment value, and I mean I'm not. I mean, it was a Best Picture nominee, so I mean, it's at least a good movie. Whether the content is like necessarily appropriate or great doesn't really concern me too much.
Yeah, but okay. So, I mean, all right. So you say Leonardo. I mean, he is an amazing actor.
Yeah,
He's done Titanic. But I mean, unless like okay, so like all right, Castaway. Tom Hanks is on camera for like 80% of the movie.
Yeah.
Right? All right. Yeah, didn't I ask you that question?
No, you didn't.
I did. All right.
No.
I thought maybe it was someone else. But he's on camera like a good chunk of like almost all of the movie.
It's like a solo act, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like Jonah Hill's in this movie a lot too. So like,
yeah.
I don't know. Can you really say that like? All right. Do you think that films?
Can you really base it on?
Can you really base it on whether or not Leonardo DiCaprio? I mean, he has been in some okay movies like. I'm trying to think of what is he? He's
Catch Me If You Can, Inception, The Aviator, What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
I mean, not every movie is like. I mean,
like not every Leonardo DiCaprio movie is the greatest movie ever, but.
But I mean, don't you think that the movie itself would have won? Don't you think that Leonardo himself would have won an award had the like? I mean, like. The Academy's been...
Had it been really that great?
Like, I mean, the Academy's been around for 85 years now. Like, this past one was the 85th.
I thought I recognized that deep-ass voice. What are you doing?
Thanks, Tim.
Recording a video about...
Why he shouldn't... I was going to do this to you later. Why he shouldn't watch Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh. That's a good I could definitely do that for hours. Huh?
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
And you're opposed to going to see it?
See, wait, come over here for a second.
Yeah, I'm opposed to seeing it.
If I could watch it, I don't know, like... I don't know. I think, and like this added sort of like pressure, like, no, don't see it. It's kind of like that whole forbidden fruit aspect. Is like, no, well now I want to see it. Like, why do you not want me to see it now? Because this has piqued my interest.
So you want to see it because everyone's telling you not, like you want.
Well, I want to see it. I want to, like I've said before, like I want to see it because it's an award-winning director, a great cast. And I mean, it's an Oscar-nominated film. And I mean, I've heard like some of the detractors of this, like 2.5 hours of just like
it's a softcore porn.
Yeah, Jonah Hill and Leonardo DiCaprio like doing crazy shit.
Like there's a scene where literally like who is it? What's his name?
DiCaprio. It's
no.
Jonah Hill?
Yeah, Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill's jerking off in the middle of a party because he sees a hot chick walk in. Like who? Like
okay.
And then he on the airplane.
There's like they show.
So are you trying to argue here that like it's a bad movie?
My argument is against this movie is that go back 20 years, this would never be on a film, this would never be on screen, this would be banned, it would never be shown because it's so vulgar, and because I think media and culture has advanced so much so that everything is okay now.
It's almost like
that this is even pushing the boundaries of what's okay now.
Yeah,
which is pretty crazy.
I mean, I guess you could say it's kind of like I see what your point is now, that it's like debauchery, like with no point to it. It's just like, oh, let's just do this because we can, not necessarily let's do this because it's good
and also
filmmaking or it's good.
It is. It's like you'll leave the movie being like, wow, that was entertaining, but you'll also leave the movie being, what's up? You'll also leave the movie being like, wow, that was extremely like vulgar, like holy.
Okay. And I mean, it doesn't. It also like kind of like puts a stamp. Like it also marks like that, like those people. Like
culture.
Like my aunt is she works in Wall Street, but she's not. She's got 3 kids and is married. Mm-hmm. Like she's not going out every night, and she doesn't do
snorting coke or taking Valium.
She doesn't do 8 drugs a day
mm-hmm.
and have sex with whoever she wants.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it stamps that kind of like not that generation, but
mm-hmm.
I mean like there are points where like when he's having lunch with, there's a scene where he's having lunch with Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
In one of the beginning scenes, and McConaughey's like all right, now there are two things that you need to succeed in this business, and it's like. It's like, and he holds up like a little bottle of cocaine. It's like, this little guy right here is cocaine. This is like your best friend. And then he's like, how many times do you jerk off a day? Or how many times do you jerk off? He's like, do you jerk off? He's like, yeah. Like they're literally in like probably I probably have never been in a restaurant that was that fancy. And they're like, like the bartender was like, and the bartender comes over. He's like, now you're gonna get us 2 straight martinis. You know how I like them. And then 5 minutes after that, you're gonna bring us 2 more. And then another 5 minutes after that, you're gonna bring us 2 more until one of us passes the fuck out. Like what in like? I mean, that's not what they're doing. Like they're not only are they like misrepresenting like an entire group of people, but like the way that they do it, it's like so like what didn't they break the record for like most F-bombs?
Yeah, they had the most F-bombs in any movie ever made.
That's Scorsese for you.
Yeah, and I mean like I don't know.
Okay.
I'll finish this later with you because I have to shower and go to dinner. But I don't know. I would say that it's like just a good example of how like bad like media has become through how open society has become to all that kind of stuff. And how it can be portrayed nowadays. I mean, what's the next bad thing going to be? Like, they already showed vagina in the movie. They dropped the F-bomb more than any other movie. They show cocaine use like throughout the whole thing. They show use of, I think, like opiates, and then he drives a car.
Lewds.
And lewds.
Oh yeah, Quaaludes.
The Quaaludes.
And so it's like, it's not...
Glorifies drug use.
It glorifies it, but it also, I think, turns you off to it, but in the extreme way they do it is just unnecessary, I think.
Like, they're like, you can...
Yeah, so I gotta go. I gotta shower, but I'll do this later with you guys.
So. See you, Tim.
No, but there's like... I mean, there should be an easier way to like. I mean, I don't think Scorsese's like mission throughout the whole movie was to with the end being like drugs are bad. Like even in the end of the movie, like he's seen playing tennis in a prison. Prison. I mean, you think prison in the real world, but I mean he's still got money. Like he can still buy whatever the hell he wants. Yeah. So now he's like. He's still got money and he's still living probably a better life than I probably ever will. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't make it. He never says like, "Oh, by the way, you shouldn't do this." Like his wife leaves him, and in the end of the movie, he seems like fairly.
It's not necessarily like a cautionary tale at all.
No.
Or there are little to no consequences. Okay.
And then I mean, even in the end, it's like, you know what? Like he didn't. He did all that crap and got caught, but I mean, still in the end, he lost his wife, but he divorced his first wife, and then his second wife divorced him, and after the shit that he did, I'd probably do the same thing if I was his wife. So I mean, how much did he actually care about her? Probably not a lot, but how much throughout the movie, does he actually does he actually get a slap on the wrist? It almost says, if you do all these drugs and, break the law, you'll get 3 years in prison. But afterwards, you're still rich.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think it promotes it, but...
It doesn't denounce it either.
No, which, especially when, partying and all that stuff is so prevalent in our society, wouldn't you, if you don't denounce it at some point, then people are going to start thinking it's okay. And I mean, where are you going to draw the line? I mean, they're already doing cocaine 24/7, and he's having sex with hookers every single night. So
okay, yeah. I mean, my largest I wouldn't say influence, but I guess experience with. Wall Street or that culture is. I'm a big fan of Michael Lewis, and he writes a lot of books. I actually have 3 or 4 books on, I think, money culture, Liar's Poker, The Big Short, and those are several. I mean, and I think those are definitely indictments of the Wall Street culture, or the type that's been rampant the last couple of decades, and the kind that has made us very susceptible to collapses in 2008 or recessions and whatnot, and just the hypocrisy, the double think, and the and just sometimes the sheer stupidity and ignorance that like some people operate with.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, I definitely would go into this film not necessarily being a fan of Wall Street to begin with, or like being a fan of their practices. And I mean, I think I like to hope that most people or most Americans can take things with a grain of salt and sort of realize like this is a dramatization, or this is not a generalization, or this is not. I mean, this is very much hyperbole.
So you're going into it knowing like this is not how the world works, or at least this is not how the world should. Like I'm not.
And I mean, I always like. I mean, and I'm not your everyday American or whatnot. Nobody is, but when it comes to like, you have stuff like this or whatnot that's glorifying this culture, that culture, drug use or sexual abuse or all these different things, and I mean, I go into it like whether or not like it ends poorly or not, I still like I mean, I think Breaking Bad is another example that's sort of good for this, because I mean, a lot of people was like, oh hey, great, like I'm gonna go cook meth now, like this is a great idea, and it's like, well no, his life gets ruined, like, and everyone's life gets ruined.
Yeah.
And whether or not The Wolf of Wall Street actually shows that, like, or whether his life actually gets ruined or not, because I mean, like you said, he's hanging out in jail for 3 years playing tennis, and then I'll get out and I'll still have boatloads of money.
Sorry for ruining it.
No, it's cool. It's fine. Spoiler alerts, dude. So I mean, whether or not like it ends badly or not, I mean, I still think I'm personally just already opposed to a lot of those different things, but.
You don't think this movie will like change any thought you have on like?
No, and I mean I'm sure they're. I mean, obviously a movie like this is gonna be rated R, so you're limiting like the exposure that like teenagers or I don't know young kids are gonna get. It's like, oh sweet, like.
Yeah, but I mean, how often does that like? You go on YouTube right now, you could probably.
Yeah. If you really wanted to watch this movie, and if you really wanted to watch Leonardo DiCaprio have sex with a bunch of whores and take drugs for 2.5 hours, then you probably could. So I mean, yeah. But.
So like, all right, so you know that it's not. This won't change. But do you think that it'll change like other people's perception of it? Like, do you think there will be like those people who are like, oh, like this is like I can do this stuff and get away with it, or like do you think if I don't know. My worry is that like some people who I've talked to who actually like they really love the movie. I'm just worried that I'm not worried that they're going to go out and become the next Jordan Belfort or Leonardo DiCaprio in this case. I'm not worried that they're going to go out and do all that stuff, but like in the back of their mind, like if they find that stuff like.
Are they going to denounce someone that's doing that in their life, or are they going to be opposed to someone?
So like if their own kids like start like I mean like if they saw this and were like
hey, awesome dude, high five, like
no I mean
because good for you.
Like on I like IMDb, yeah, they said, I mean, they compared it to, or they said, people who like this movie also like Shawshank Redemption and American Gangster, which I mean, it doesn't mean that everyone who likes those movies loves Wolf of Wall Street, but I mean, if you're gonna classify it with those kind of movies, like I mean, when the first time that I watched Shawshank Redemption was I was fairly young. I didn't exactly understand what was going on the whole time, but like I remember, there are certain parts of movies that you remember, sometimes for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
I remember, the parts where they were just beating the shit out of Andy Dufresne. I didn't get the urge to go out and kick someone's ass because I was told that it was wrong. But parents, like if
some people may not have that.
Yeah, like
sort of foundation or that.
So like so like if this is like like a kind of like the not the next Shawshank Redemption by any means.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother level. But it's if it's not like if it's not taken like a certain way, like do you think that I guess like if a kid saw this and wasn't told that it was wrong,
or if that's his only experience or his only